Nicky, before we get on to Saturday's game against Stevenage, last weekend you had a difficult result against Luton. What do you think went wrong?
In a nutshell, we made 4 really poor individual errors for 3 goals. Because one of the goals was a couple of players not making the right action at the right time. And I think in any game of football, if you're giving away the quality of goal or the quality of chance to the opposition, which we are, you're going to struggle. I think we spoke about with the players. Start of the week, we conceded 14 goals in 4 games, which is incredible. And 10 of those are what I would describe as horrors. So it's that fine balance when you're working with young players. You don't want to kind of create fear in terms of making mistakes, but ultimately, some types of mistakes are gonna give you no opportunity to win, and that's kind of where we're at the minute. And then on top of that, when you're gaming possessions not where it needs to be, in terms of understanding, in terms of bravery, you're going to struggle, and that's kind of where we're at the minute.
What do you think needs to change on the pitch then? Is it a matter of better decision making?
We need to keep working. That's the main bit. I think, again, we spoke with the players. They need to show the ability to take on information a lot better than we are doing at the minute. I think they have a lot of information. They understand what needs to happen. I think it's a matter of choice in critical moments, really. Players deciding to do things we've not asked of them, and then players' accountability to, no, that's not the right thing to do. We need to do that type of thing, really. We're going to keep working, but yeah, it's been a difficult start for sure.
On a brighter note, 2 of your 18s players made their St James Park debuts on Tuesday night in EFL Trophy, with Louis Kalis becoming the second youngest player in the club's history and Liam Oakes winning man of the match. How important do you think that would be, and what experiences can they take back into the 18s from that?
I think ultimately, like talking about the first point, the reason why we have an under 18s group is to create players for the first team or beyond, hopefully. So the results are important. More important than the results are the performances. The performances have been really poor, and that's why we need to get better. But it's nights like Tuesday and when playing the 21s, we're actually, you get to see potentially some potential for the future, so to speak. So it's really good for 2 players to be recognised there. Obviously Lou, a young player, played in under 18s for over a year now, played a lot of games, plays a big personality, a big courage, very talented. Obviously got a few minutes. I think even in those few minutes showed a couple of bits of what he can do, so fantastic for him and his family. Again, I think you asked about Liam last week, is the talk of the town at the minute, I think. For us as an academy, he's probably a real good story in a way for the academy. A player that been here since 9, has probably never been the one spoke about in his age group all the way through his journey. He's always just been a good player. Liam Oakes, nice kid, all that kind of stuff. And I think now people are starting to see that he's still those things. He's an incredible person. His character's brilliant, as you probably saw a little bit from his interview. But he's a really good football player. So people are now getting to start to see that. And for us as staff, it's a really good example to the rest of the players, his peers, of be the best person you can be for beyond Exeter, if you're not fortunate to have a career, which unfortunately most players won't. And with the right amount of talent, work rate, doing the right thing consistently over a period of time, you can get an opportunity. And I want to reiterate that again, it's really important. Liam Oakes has been doing what he's been doing now since he was 9, relative in terms of when he goes for the group. And it's that consistency over a long period of time. So hopefully for him, he can continue to show the ability he has and play with that courage and personality, which he does. And hopefully his peers can take some kind of inspiration from that, really, and try and follow on in that vein.
And Liam and possibly a few of his teammates might get another opportunity to play on that St James Park pitch next Wednesday when the team take on Norwich in the Premier League Cup. How important are those opportunities as well for the players?
I think previously they played at Bromley. So won the game. There was a large number of the under-18s involved in that. Again, I'm not exactly quite sure yet how many will be involved. I'd imagine there'll be some opportunities for a couple who've earned that. Again, just trying to, every time you get to go and play at St James's, every time you get to go and play across age groups or in front of the manager or whoever, try and put your best foot forward really and show what you can do. So if some of the players are fortunate enough to get the opportunity, hopefully they can continue to do that, which I'm sure they will.
Moving on to this weekend's game, we've noticed a few of your 18s players haven't been fit recently. Can you give us a bit of a squad update?
Yeah, again, it's not something I really like to talk about, not in terms of the players that are injured, because obviously still part of it, but we've got 6 or 7 out at the minute. As you can probably tell by we've had a lot of younger players playing. Obviously will be a factor in terms of some of the performances, a little bit in terms of having 6-7 scholars out. But again, it's giving opportunities to others. Kai Cooper's out at the moment. He's got a period in front of him. I don't want to put a timeline on it, but he's going to be out for the foreseeable future. He's got a foot injury. Aidan Bowen has been out since he came back from a school trip, basically, pretty much. Hopefully he'll be back in the next few weeks, but he's not played so hard a season. Jude Horn's been out with a growing hip issue since Wimbledon in pre-season, where he was incredible actually, and he's not been seen really since. It's been frustrating for him first and foremost, and for us. No timeline on his return. Santino's been out since the Wimbledon game in the season. Been out for a couple of weeks now. We're hoping for him back soon. There's so many of them, it's taken a long time. Jackie Cavendish got a little bit of an ankle issue. He should be back soon, but he's missed the last game or so. George Birch has been out again for a few weeks. Hopefully he could be back looking for the weekend, but the fact that it's took me 3 minutes to reel that off probably tells you where we're at in that regard.
Now, onto the opponents. What do you expect from Stevenage?
Again, another difficult opposition, playing a variety of systems, a variety of styles as well, actually. Got some good players at the top of the pitch, like most teams do. But ultimately, for us, unless we improve our performance, we're gonna struggle really. So the key thing for us looking at the weekend is, can we start to look like ourselves and how we want to look? I think if you look at the season as a whole, so far we put 45 minutes together at the first half against Wimbledon, where we showed some little bits of ourselves in terms of in possession. Outside of that, we've been incredibly poor, really, if I'm being honest, and players need to be better. So when we chat next week, hopefully we're talking about an Exeter City performance in possession, a bit of an identity, which is a big thing for us, and then that we're more difficult to play against, because at the minute we're not difficult to play against when we have the ball, and we're certainly not difficult to play against when we don't have the ball. So you put those two together, is tough. So hopefully we put something together at the weekend, which is a bit more positive to talk about going into next week.